I need you to lock in for a second, because today we're talking about something that's going to change your life. Rebuilding yourself for success. Listen to me. I don't care where you are right now. I don't care what you've been through. I don't care if you failed, if you've lost everything, if you feel like giving up. I need you to understand something. You are not done. See, life will break you down. Life will knock you out. Some of you have been through pain, rejection, setbacks, people doubting you, leaving you, telling you that you ain't got what it takes. But guess what? Pain is not the end. Pain is the beginning. If you want success, if you want to be great, you have to be willing to rebuild. You have to take all that pain, all that struggle, and use it as fuel to create a new version of you. The best version of you.life has a way of breaking us down. At some point, everyone faces setbacks, disappointments, or failures. Maybe you lost a job, ended a relationship, struggled with your health, or made mistakes that set you back. In these moments, it's easy to feel stuck, frustrated, or even hopeless. But here's the truth. Before you can rebuild yourself for success, you must first accept the breakdown. Many people avoid this step. They deny their struggles, make excuses, or pretend everything is fine when deep down they know things need to change. They hold on to pride, afraid to admit they're struggling, afraid to be vulnerable, but you can't fix what you won't face. If you want to rebuild your life, you have to be honest with yourself about where you are and what led you here. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means taking responsibility. It's about recognizing that something isn't working and having the courage to confront it. This is the foundation of growth. Imagine trying to rebuild a house without first inspecting the damage. If you ignore the cracks, the weak foundation, or the broken structure, anything you build on top of it will eventually collapse. The same is true for your life. You have to stop ignoring the cracks. One of the hardest parts of accepting the breakdown is letting go of blame. It's easy to point fingers at others. The boss who fired you, the friend who betrayed you, the circumstances that made things difficult. But the moment you stop blaming others and start owning your situation, you regain control. When you accept responsibility, you empower yourself to make a change. That's not to say external factors don't play a role. Sometimes life throws things at you that are beyond your control. But what you do next is always within your control. You can sit in self-pity, or you can decide that this is the moment you turn things around. Another key part of accepting the breakdown is dealing with the emotions that come with it. Failure, loss, and disappointment hurt. And many people try to avoid that pain by distracting themselves, scrolling through social media, binge watching TV, staying busy with anything that keeps them from truly facing their situation. But real change requires you to sit with that discomfort, process it, and learn from it. Growth comes from reflection. Ask yourself, what went wrong? What can I learn? How can I be better? The answers to these questions will help you rebuild stronger than before. When you accept the breakdown, you also stop fearing it. Many people stay in situations that don't serve them, bad jobs, toxic relationships, unhealthy habits, because they're afraid of what will happen if they let go. But what if the breakdown is exactly what you need? What if losing that job, failing at that project, or going through that struggle is setting you up for something greater? Sometimes life tears you down so you can rebuild into something stronger. The greatest success stories are built on setbacks. Look at any successful person and you'll see someone who faced failure but refused to let it define them. They accepted their struggles, learned from them, and used them as fuel to become better. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Oprah was fired from her first TV job. J.K. Rowling faced rejection after rejection before publishing Harry Potter. What separates them from everyone else is that they didn't run from failure, they embraced it. What is breaking you down right now? What are you avoiding? What truth do you need to face? Stop running. Stop making excuses and start confronting it. Because the sooner you accept where you are, the sooner you can begin rebuilding. And when you rebuild with clarity, strength, and purpose, there's nothing that can stop you. You are not your past. Let that sink in for a moment. Too many people define themselves by their failures, mistakes, and struggles, carrying them like a heavy weight that holds them back from success. They say things like, I've always been this way, or I've never been good at that. And they let their past dictate their future. But if you want to rebuild yourself for success, the first thing you must do is redefine who you are. Most people live their lives based on old stories they've told themselves. Maybe someone told you as a child that you weren't smart enough, athletic enough, or talented enough. Maybe you failed at something years ago, and now you believe that failure is just a part of who you are. But here's the truth. Your past is just a chapter in your story, not the whole book. If you keep reading the same chapter over and over, you'll never move forward. You have the power to turn the page and write a new story for yourself. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to change is because they don't see themselves differently. They want success, but deep down they still see themselves as the person who struggles, who fails, who gives up. They hold on to old identities that no longer serve them. But if you want to be successful, you have to see yourself as successful before you become it. You have to believe in the new version of yourself before it exists. That belief will drive your actions, and your actions will create the reality you want. Think about this. If you see yourself as lazy, you'll act lazy. If you see yourself as unworthy, you'll make decisions that reinforce that belief. But if you start seeing yourself as disciplined, as capable, as unstoppable, your actions will begin to align with that vision. You have to redefine who you are, not based on where you've been, but based on where you're going. One of the most powerful ways to redefine yourself is through self-talk. Pay attention to the words you use when you talk about yourself. Do you say, I'm always bad at this, or I'll never be able to do that? Those words shape your reality. Instead, start affirming who you want to become. Say, I am disciplined. I am strong. I am capable of great things. It might feel weird at first, but words have power. The more you say it, the more you believe it. The more you believe it, the more you act on it. Another important part of redefining yourself is changing your habits. Your habits are a reflection of who you believe you are. If you see yourself as a winner, you'll develop winning habits. If you see yourself as someone who prioritizes health, you'll make better choices. But if you hold on to old habits that reinforce your past identity, you'll keep getting the same results. The key is to act like the person you want to become before you fully become them. Want to be a leader? Start leading. Want to be disciplined? Start making disciplined choices. Want to be successful? Start showing up like a successful person. It's also important to surround yourself with people who see the new version of you. Some people will try to keep you in the box of who you used to be. They'll remind you of your past mistakes, doubt your growth, or try to pull you back into old habits. You don't need that energy. You need people who push you forward, who see your potential, who encourage you to keep growing. If the people around you aren't supporting your transformation, it might be time to find a new circle. Redefining yourself is a choice. No one else can do it for you. You have to decide that you are not your past, that you are capable of more, and that you are willing to put in the work to become the best version of yourself. When you start seeing yourself as the person you want to be, you'll start making decisions that align with that vision. And before you know it, you won't just be acting like that person, you will become that person. Motivation is a great spark, but it's not the fuel that will carry you to success. Too many people rely on motivation to get started, but when that initial excitement fades, they stop. They wait for the next burst of inspiration, the next right moment, the next time they feel like doing the work. But if you want to rebuild yourself for success, you have to understand this truth. Motivation will get you going, but discipline will keep you growing. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It's waking up early when your body tells you to sleep in. It's going to the gym when you'd rather sit on the couch. It's putting in extra hours of work when your friends are out partying. Discipline is the difference between those who achieve success and those who only dream about it. The problem is most people don't want discipline because discipline is uncomfortable. Motivation feels good. It gives you energy, excitement, and a sense of possibility. But discipline demands sacrifice. It requires you to push through discomfort, to show up even when you're tired, frustrated, or uninspired. It's the reason so many people start but never finish. They love the idea of success, but they don't love the process of becoming successful. So how do you develop discipline? First, you must shift your mindset. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop saying, I'll do it when I feel ready. That moment may never come. Success isn't about waiting for the perfect conditions. It's about creating them. You have to decide that you will show up every single day, no matter how you feel. Winners don't let emotions control their actions. They let their actions shape their emotions. You don't become disciplined overnight. It's not about waking up one day and suddenly having unshakable focus. It's about making small, consistent choices that add up over time. Start with one habit. Maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier. Maybe it's reading for 10 minutes a day. Maybe it's cutting out distractions for a set period of time. Whatever it is, commit to it. Do it every day. No excuses. Because when you keep a promise to yourself, you build confidence. And when you build confidence, discipline becomes easier. Another key to discipline is removing distractions and temptations. If you struggle with staying focused, look at your environment. If your phone is always pulling you away from your goals, put it in another room when you work. If you're constantly tempted by junk food, stop keeping it in your house. Don't rely on willpower alone. Set yourself up for success by creating an environment that supports discipline. You also need accountability. It's easy to let yourself off the hook when no one is watching. But when you have someone holding you accountable, whether it's a mentor, a coach, or even a friend, you're less likely to make excuses. Find someone who will push you, who will call you out when you're slacking, and who won't let you settle for less than your best. Embrace the struggle. Discipline is uncomfortable. It's supposed to be. Growth only happens when you push past your limits. If it were easy, everyone would do it. But the fact that it's hard is what makes it valuable. Every time you push through resistance, you get stronger. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you separate yourself from the crowd. So stop waiting for motivation. Stop looking for shortcuts. Make the decision today that you will show up, put in the work, and stay consistent no matter what. Because at the end of the day, success doesn't go to the most talented, the most gifted, or the luckiest. Success goes to the most disciplined. The people you surround yourself with can either build you up or break you down. If you are serious about rebuilding yourself for success, one of the most important things you must do is take a hard look at your environment. The truth is, success is not just about what you do, it's also about who you do it with. You cannot grow in an environment that constantly pulls you backward. If you want to elevate your life, you have to surround yourself with winners. Many people struggle to change because they stay in the same toxic circles. They keep hanging out with people who complain all the time, who make excuses, who don't have any real ambition. These people aren't pushing them forward, they're holding them back. And the worst part, they don't even realize it. See, negativity is contagious. If you're around people who always see the worst in every situation, guess what? You'll start thinking the same way. If you're around people who have no discipline, who procrastinate, who waste time, you'll start doing the same. But the opposite is also true. When you surround yourself with winners, people who are driven, focused, and committed to growth, you will naturally start leveling up. You will absorb their mindset, their habits, their work ethic. You won't even have to force it. It will happen naturally. That's the power of your environment. If the people in your life are constantly negative, draining your energy, or making you feel like you can't achieve your goals, it's time to make a change. That doesn't mean you have to cut everyone off completely, but it does mean you need to set boundaries. Limit your time with people who don't align with your vision. Protect your energy. Seek out people who inspire you. Look for those who are already where you want to be. If you want to be more disciplined, find someone who is disciplined. If you want to be successful in business, surround yourself with entrepreneurs and go-getters. If you want to be healthy, spend time with people who prioritize fitness and wellness. Success leaves clues. When you surround yourself with people who are already winning, you'll start picking up on their habits, their mindset, and their way of thinking. You may feel like you don't have access to these kinds of people. Maybe your current environment is full of negativity and you don't know where to find a better circle. That's okay. Start small. Join online communities. Attend networking events. Listen to podcasts. Read books by successful people. Even if you don't have direct access to winners in your personal life, you can still immerse yourself in their knowledge and energy. Too often, people look for mentors or successful friends only to take from them. But real connections are built on mutual benefit. Instead of asking, what can I get from this person? Ask, how can I add value? Maybe it's through sharing ideas, offering help, or simply showing genuine support. When you bring value to others, you naturally attract high-level relationships. Be willing to let go of relationships that no longer serve you. This is the hardest part for many people. Some of the people you've known for years won't understand your growth. They'll say you've changed. They'll make you feel guilty for wanting more. But remember this, you are not responsible for carrying people who don't want to grow. Your future is too important to be weighed down by people who refuse to elevate. Success is a team sport. You cannot do it alone. Surround yourself with winners and you will become one. Keep yourself in the wrong crowd and you'll never reach your full potential. Choose wisely. Success doesn't come from wishing, hoping, or waiting for the perfect moment. It comes from taking massive action. Too many people get stuck in the cycle of overthinking, doubting, or waiting for the right time. They spend hours planning, researching, and preparing, but when it's time to actually do the work, they freeze. They tell themselves they need more information, more skills, or more confidence before they can start. But the truth is, action is the only thing that creates results. If you want to rebuild yourself for success, you must stop hesitating and start executing. The difference between successful people and those who never reach their potential isn't talent, luck, or intelligence, it's action. Successful people don't wait until they feel ready. They take action even when they're uncertain, even when they're scared, even when they don't have all the answers. They understand that clarity comes from doing, not thinking. You can't figure everything out by sitting on the sideline. You have to step into the game and learn as you go. One of the biggest reasons people fail to take action is fear of failure. They worry about making mistakes, looking foolish, or not getting it right on the first try. But failure isn't the enemy, inaction is. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than they can count. Michael Jordan missed over 9,000 shots in his career. The difference is that they didn't let failure stop them. They kept taking action, learning from their mistakes, and improving along the way. If you want to take massive action, you must reprogram your mindset around failure. Instead of seeing it as something to avoid, see it as a necessary part of growth. The faster you fail, the faster you learn and the faster you succeed. Failure is just feedback. It shows you what works and what doesn't. The only real failure is refusing to try. Another major obstacle to taking action is perfectionism. People think they need to have the perfect plan, the perfect skills, or the perfect circumstances before they can start. But perfection is an illusion. It doesn't exist. If you wait until everything is perfect, you'll never begin. Instead, adopt the imperfect action mindset. Take the first step, even if it's messy, even if it's small. Done is always better than perfect. You can refine and adjust as you go, but you must start. A powerful strategy for taking massive action is setting clear, specific goals with deadlines. Vague goals like, I want to be successful, or I want to get in shape. Don't create urgency. Instead, break your goal into clear, actionable steps. For example, another way to ensure action is eliminating distractions. Many people stay busy but not productive. They spend hours scrolling on social media, watching videos, or consuming content, thinking they're working toward their goals. But consuming is not the same as creating. To take massive action, cut out distractions and focus on execution. Time block your schedule, set priorities, and commit to doing the work without excuses. Accountability is another key to staying consistent. Find someone who will hold you to your commitments, a mentor, coach, or friend who pushes you when you feel like slacking. When you have someone checking in on your progress, you're less likely to procrastinate or give up. Success is about momentum. The more action you take, the more confident you become. The first step is always the hardest, but once you start moving, you build unstoppable momentum. Stop waiting. Stop overthinking. Stop making excuses. Take massive action now, and success will follow. Success is not a destination. It is a continuous journey of growth, learning, and self-improvement. One of the most important aspects of rebuilding yourself for success is adopting a mindset of lifelong learning. The world is constantly evolving, and those who stop learning eventually fall behind. If you want to stay ahead, grow, and reach your full potential, you must commit to learning every single day. Knowledge is power, but applied knowledge is what truly transforms lives. Many people believe that learning stops after school, but that is far from the truth. Formal education gives you a foundation, but real-world success comes from continuous self-education. The most successful people in the world, from business leaders to athletes to artists, are constantly learning, adapting, and improving their skills. They read books, listen to mentors, take courses, and stay curious. They don't see learning as an obligation. They see it as a tool for personal and professional growth. One of the key benefits of lifelong learning is staying adaptable in a changing world. The world is evolving faster than ever. Industries change, technology advances, and new opportunities arise. If you are not actively learning and upgrading your skills, you risk becoming outdated. Think about the people who refuse to adapt to the rise of the internet, or those who ignored the importance of digital skills. Many of them struggled, while others who embrace learning thrive. The ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn is one of the greatest assets you can develop. Another reason why continuous learning is essential is personal growth and self-confidence. When you invest in yourself by gaining new knowledge and skills, you become more confident in your abilities. You no longer doubt yourself because you know you are prepared. Whether it's learning a new language, improving your communication skills, or mastering a specific trade, every bit of knowledge you gain increases your confidence and opens new doors of opportunity. One of the best ways to make learning a daily habit is to read consistently. Most highly successful people are avid readers. Warren Buffett once said that reading 500 pages a day is the key to knowledge. Bill Gates reads around 50 books a year. Elon Musk learned about rocket science by reading books. Reading expands your mind, exposes you to new ideas, and allows you to learn from the experiences of others. Make it a habit to read at least 20-30 minutes a day, whether it's books, articles, or research related to your field. Another powerful way to learn is through mentors and role models. Surround yourself with people who have already achieved what you aspire to do. Learn from their successes and mistakes. Having a mentor can accelerate your growth because they provide guidance, wisdom, and insights that you might take years to discover on your own. If you don't have direct access to mentors, you can still learn from them through books, interviews, and online courses. Beyond reading and mentorship, taking action is one of the best ways to learn. Knowledge alone is useless if it's not applied. Many people consume information but never implement it. They attend seminars, watch educational videos, and take courses, but they don't apply what they've learned. Real learning happens when you take action, experiment, and gain firsthand experience. You don't need to know everything before you start. Start now, and you will learn along the way. Another aspect of lifelong learning is being open to feedback and criticism. Growth requires being humble enough to accept that you don't know everything. Be open to constructive criticism, seek feedback from others, and use it to improve. Many people resist feedback because they take it personally, but those who embrace it grow at an accelerated rate. Commit to learning from failures. Every setback, mistake, or challenge is an opportunity to learn and improve. Instead of seeing failure as a reason to quit, see it as a lesson that is preparing you for future success. The greatest lessons in life don't come from victories, they come from struggles. Rebuilding yourself for success requires a commitment to continuous learning. Never settle, never stop growing, and never stop improving. The more you learn, the more you expand your potential, and the more opportunities you create for yourself. Stay curious, stay hungry, and success will follow.